Worksheet 4. So this one here, again, if we have a look, there's a couple of steps that we need to take with this one. So I'm probably going to start with my front view so I can get the circle and that little cutout triangle at the same time. I'm then going to go to the top and I'll draw on the same sketch my cutout for that corner and that little part there, and we'll go from there. So let's check that one out. So I'm going to go over here, I'm going to go to a new design, create a sketch, and I'm going to go on the front side first. So this one doesn't have any symmetry, so we're just going to be building it out as we go. So I'm going to start with a rectangle, and it's going to be 110 by 170. So let's start there. Again, from the origin, 110 by 170. Okay, and you can see that they've already got their constraints in terms of horizontal or parallel, vertical. All right, so from there, I need to get my circle. Now it looks like it's about centered through that at 28 and it's 36 in. So I'm going to grab him. Notice if I hover over a line when I'm going to draw something, I get my triangle, which gives me the center point of that line. What did I say? 28, wasn't it? Yes, 28. And again, D for dimension. I'm going to go between that, and that was 37 in. 36. Okay, so first step. From there, I need to find, so 54 in is that mark there, and 50 up from there. So let's add that line in. So there to there, dimensions, so 54 from there, and 50 up. Okay, so then that's kind of my first step done. So I'm going to extrude that out. I could trim that away. It doesn't really matter because I get to select which faces I want to extrude. So there's my first one. I'm going to take him back, I think, and we're going to go back 100. Okay, so that is my first step. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on my top one now. So let's jump onto, so I want to draw on that face, not that face. So if I draw on that face, it's not perpendicular and my numbers are going to be out. So right click on that face there, or go new sketch from there. So now what I want is I need to make that, come back here. So I need to go into, let's have a look at this guy just a little bit closer. So he's 15 wide. I'm going to actually use the slot for this one. He's 20 apart. It looks kind of centered in that 54. So let's get that started. So first of all, I'm going to drop in a construction line. So I can either hit X or select that for that center through there. Okay, so there's my first step. I'm going to then go into create, and I've got a slot, which is there. And I'm just going to go center slot to center slot is perfect. So if I hover that over there, and I know it wants to be 20, and then I think that was 15, wasn't it? 15 wide. Okay, so then that gives me my little guy here. I can adjust that, but I want that, let's say, let's go 20. Now, notice how it's gone to a construction line. What I can do is I can select those pieces, and just turn that off. Okay, so now that guy moves around and I want to try and center that. So if I know that that's 7, so it's 15, so that's 7.5, 7.5 and 20. So 35 out of my, if I select those, I can see 54. So if I go a dimension, that wants to be, if I go my 54 divided by 2 should be 26, and I want to be able to get 10 off that, so minus 10, and that should give me my center. Now there are other ways to do it, that's how my head worked. Alright, so that's the first chunk of that. If I have a look over here, that's got my slot. It might be a little bit longer, I could bump that out to 25, but I'm happy with where that is. If I wanted to be really particular, we can see that that's pretty much lined up. So let's see if we can do that. I want to go over here to my view, display settings, or I've completely forgotten where I get my view from. So visual style, there it is, shaded with hidden edges, which then should give me, well, let's actually go wireframe with hidden edges. And it's not going to give me him. That's okay. So I could nudge that out and see if I can find where he's sitting, but you can actually change the view of how things look. Generally, we're going to go hidden edges is not too bad. So I'm going to leave him there and say I'm happy with that. What I want to do next is I'm going to add on my little corner here. So we can see 29.62 down, 10 in, 30 in, 112 from there. So let's start by just drawing that guy. Oh, come on, line. Get my line back in, so I'm going to go from there to there to there to there. Now, because there's nothing on that is why he's not showing up. So what I might do is I'm going to, well, first of all, change those so that they're not construction. I'm going to just throw on a rectangle from here so that we've got the right size there. So 170, oh, hang on, that one wants to be 110, no, 100 by 170. So I've got now a line to work with. I turn that construction back off and I can now dimension those up, and I'm going to have to then convert that bit to being solid once I've got my dimensions right. So 30 in, so he's 30, that's 10, and let's tie that onto the side. He's on the side, that's good. And then 29.62. Okay, and then was that 112? Yep. Okay, so that's now locked in. I'm just going to drop a line on there to there. So that's now, notice how it's filled in. I can now finish that sketch, extrude that through. I'm going to go through all that way, all, and cut, tick. So that is almost there. There's one more step that I need to do now. And I've got in my same sketch, so I turn that back on, and I'm now going to do a shortcut E for extrude, and then that needs to be up 10 mil. And what I didn't pay attention to was whether that joined it or not. So let's just edit that feature. It's on join by default. That's fantastic. So now I'm happy with that. Hide that sketch and I've got my body. So this one we're going to say is just a standard aluminium. So let's drop that on here. We're going to go physical material and let's just go straight aluminium. Drop him on and let's check our mass. So what we're looking for is 3427.295 grams. Fantastic. All right, make sure you've saved that because I haven't done that yet. And then have a crack at the last one would be a really good one to do.